back to Cheap and Green. Today is the first in what I hope will be a series that includes every room of my house. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go room to room and declutter all the stuff that, is no longer serving us, that we're over, doesn't work in that room. I'm going to remove the stuff to either thrift shop or possibly my antique booth. To start this series, we are starting at the top of the house in the attic office. This is a tiny room. It's probably about 10 by 10, and because we're in the attic, it has the sloped ceilings, which makes decorating maybe a little bit more challenging. This room is very tiny and it works very hard. It's my office, it's my husband's office. My husband plays guitar up here. I do yoga up here. And my daughter's lovebirds spend the night up here because they're very noisy sleepers and she can't sleep with them in her room. We also like to sort of sit up here and just relax sometimes, just to get away from the main living room and the kitchen. And it's nice and quiet and peaceful up here. So we do a little bit of relaxing in this room again. So it's a very hard-working room. One of the big changes that we have recently done in this room is we've gotten rid of my gigantic IKEA work desk. I had a really, really huge desk from back in the days when a lot of editing was done on paper and I needed an enormous amount of surface area so I could lay everything out. Now, of course, everything is done on computer, so I don't really need this gigantic desk. So we were able to take that apart, sell that, and replace it with this really nice antique harvest table, which is currently buried under a mountain of papers. Changing the desk has really opened up a whole lot of floor space. However, it has created another problem of I have a whole bunch of stuff that I don't know what to do with. So this is still a work in progress, and I'm going to have to spend some time going through all these papers. There's also a box here on the cedar chest that is packed away stuff from the top of the desk that I still don't know what to do with. So I'll have to go through that. The other thing we've got going on in here is some duplicated stuff. We have 2 giant printers, and I mean, really, we only need one, but I'm not used to the new black one, so I've had a hard time letting go of my old one that's familiar. The other thing that's duplicated are the guitar amps. For a long time, my husband was making do with this little Fender Practice amp, and it was adequate. It was perfectly adequate, but it didn't have the right sound. So he was finally able to find the Marshall amp that he wanted, and this is great. But now we have 2, and in actual fact, in the basement, we have a 3rd amp that also needs to be moved out. So yeah, so we have a lot of stuff. The goal today is basically to identify the things that need to go. We may not be able to move all of them out today because there's no place to put them, but at least if we know that they're going, we can move towards that goal. And also just get rid of the smaller things to just try and neaten things up and clear out some space. I'm going to use Post-it notes to mark the big stuff that I can't move out today, but we know is going. And the smaller things I'll pack up and actually remove. The first big thing is this cedar chest. Now, I love this cedar chest. I think it's just a beautiful piece of furniture, but I don't know what the heck to do with it. Stuff always gets piled on top, then you can't get into anything in the inside. It's huge. There's just no place for it to live. So it has moved from room to room, basement, back up to her bedroom, all over in the 10 years we've been here. And really, it has no home. So it's going to eventually make its way to the booth. So the next tag is sell, and I think that I'm going to have to say goodbye to my printer, and probably won't be able to get very much for it. But anyway, we don't need 2 printers in a 10 by 10 room. This is one of those book organizers, and it's really beautiful. It's in perfect condition. I really like it. but honestly, it's been sitting here empty for, I don't know, 6 months. I just don't use it. Things have to be out for me to remember them, and then when I'm done with them, I put them away in a file, and I don't need them around anymore. So I can't really see a purpose for this thing in my life, so I think I'm gonna have to sell it. So this is the contents of the box that I've had put away for, I don't know, 6 months. This is a cute thing that my daughter painted for me. She probably won't care about it, so I'll check with her and maybe that can go. This is an adorable and very dusty desk set that my hubby got for me for, I think, Christmas a couple of years ago. It's still pretty cute, so I think I might still want to keep that. So I will put that on my desk. Post-it notes, useful. Stegosaurus, dusty Stegosaurus, also cute. It's a picture my daughter did. Isn't that cute? I have a lot of artwork hanging around. So now old files from 2016 can go into this box, which is what I was wanting to use it for, and be packed away because I do have to keep my files for 7 years. All right. So the other horror show is the closet in this room. Originally it was meant to just store supplies and, you know, old files that I was archiving, but it's become this dumping ground and things have just been thrown in there and, you know, it's just a disaster. So we're gonna try and at least purge. I don't think we can organize today, but at least we can get rid of stuff that we don't need anymore. So this is an old practice amp of my husband's that he no longer needs. So we are going to donate that. And also this governor pedal, he doesn't need anymore. The new amp has that feature built in, so that's no longer needed. This is a gorgeous vintage Underwood typewriter that we picked up at a garage sale. Since my husband and I are both writers, we really like the romance of it, and it was very cool. But we do not have a place for this to be. So it's gone from table to desk and now to closet. So now it will go out to booth and somebody will enjoy it and treasure it. I kind of love this. It was in my room when I was growing up. It was in my daughter's room. And now it's in the closet. My daughter doesn't really like it. So, you know, I guess it's going to have to go. We got this beautiful gift from our Brazilian international student, Andressa, and we definitely want to keep this forever. This is a real keepsake. Be nice if I could find a place for it somewhere, so I might put that aside and see if I can hang it somewhere. This is all letterhead from my business, so I probably will just repurpose that. This is a really pretty milk glass little bedside table lamp, and honestly it's been stuck in the closet, so I think it'll have to go to the booth. So this is part of a China horse collection that my dad gave me when I think I was a teenager. It was in my mom's place for a while, and for some reason it's ended up in my office closet. I do not have space for these right now, but I think I definitely need to move them to the basement. This is a nice bag that is, it's very, very dusty, but it does not deserve to be in the back of the closet. I'm not sure how it got there, but it should go in my bedroom closet. A very long time ago, I used to work at essentially the Taiwan consulate. It's not really consulate, but, and they gave me a bunch of really pretty stuff. Look at that, eh? Beautiful. That took a lot longer than I was expecting. I was thinking it was going to be like 20 minutes, and actually we've been doing this for about 2 hours, and we're not quite done. It would be really nice to clean everything, but I have to run. So I just want to show you what we've accomplished in that 2 hours of actually fairly hard work. So here is the rearranged closet. We have removed stacks of photo albums, stacks of paper, and just general sort of junk that ends up accumulating in here. So it is actually a useful space. The Christmas wrapping paper has to live here because it doesn't fit anywhere else, so that's okay. And it's camera equipment and guitars and cases and amps. So this is all pretty good stuff. I could probably still get rid of most of the files, but for now they're not hurting anybody, they're fine. And the air conditioners belong on this floor, and there's no way that I am carrying them up and down 4 flights of stairs if I don't need to. So they are going to live here. So this is pretty good. So here's the rest of the room. Now, of course, my desk still looks just as messy as it did before because I haven't had the time to really go through all the papers, but I can do that a bit at a time. I put away some supplies. We need to disconnect the old printer, so that's the next step. But you'll notice that the box of stuff is gone and the files that belong in it are in it and filed and away, and things are getting more tidy. And actually, I love this pillow, but we have 5 pillows on a love seat, and I think that's crazy. So I think I'm gonna get rid of this. So that's about it. This room is now emptied of all the things that we don't want, with the exception of the printer and the giant cedar chest, but they will go. And there's a lot more space, and it's a lot more organized, and I feel really good about what we've accomplished. Thanks for joining me today on Sheep and Green. I think we'll finish up the 3rd floor next time, so that means our bedroom. If you like the video, then please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time.